Hey everybody, what is up? Physical therapist, Dr. Ryan Welton, coming to you from just outside the beautiful Tampa Bay area. If you are new to following me, I have a clinic where it sounds like my eyes here. I have a clinic where I call it the I've failed everything clinic because people come here on a weekly basis, one after another, like nobody knows what's wrong with me. I got this pain. I've had this done, that done, this done, that done, and I've learned to get exceptional results in that patient population. I have published statistically historic papers in readership, getting multiple times even the readership of some of the biggest journals in all of medicine in the world. And you can find that on my website, weltonmethods.com. Join my school group below, okay, where I talk about more in depth. And it's an educational group, a free VIP group, okay, educational group. Just join it, click that link below. And I am talking about clinical mentorship stuff. And then I'm also talking about how to open and run a cash-based business model that is totally different than the traditional cash-based business models that everybody has. Okay, so I created my own model based off of clinical results. So with certain conditions, so you actually get the person out of pain, and then the person trusts you. I don't have pushy sales tactics. I'm not a natural salesperson. I'm not, what I do is I demonstrate to them that I actually know what I'm doing by getting the person out of pain, show them what I did and what we need to do to make it stay. So anyways, and I use my protocol. So it's a uniquely powerful clinical and business mentorship, okay, where I teach people both. So click that link below, the school group, okay? So, hey, listen, so today I was, not today. I was 2022. I saw a patient that came in. She had back pain. I diagnosed her with SI joint dysfunction, but I did not want to treat her until she got seen by a neurologist. Why? Because when she walked, she would go like this. She would have Recuvat, right? So she had lack of quad control. I'm testing her myotomes, and I'm like, yeah, no, like this is a problem here. Like there's something going on with this patient neurologically. So, anyways, I wrote in my notes, patient, and I told the patient to go see a neurologist. So she comes back 2025, right? So a few weeks ago. And she comes back and she says to me, I was looking at her last note and I'm like, yeah, so I told you to go to a neurologist, and it was even more pronounced, the recuvatum and the weakness and all that, right? And I said to her, have you seen a neurologist about this? And she said, yeah, we've been trying to work up for what this is for a long time. Could be MS, could be this, could be that. We don't really know yet, but I've been working with a neurologist, right? So I'm like, okay, great. I wanted the patient to see a neurologist, because that wasn't normal, what I was seeing upon evaluation. So, but the question was, okay, so this patient had low back pain, okay, so she had pain across her back, okay, and now I opened up her SI joints and I specifically tested her strength again down her legs, because I think 3 times now in my career, 2 are documented in my root cause of SI joint dysfunction video, paper, my medical paper that statistically has made medical history and readership on my website, weltonmethods.com. And what I document in there is 2 cases on video that you can see of patients with foot drop. It's a very rare thing that happens, but I have an SI joint clinic, so I see rare things, And in those patients, I open it up and they go from foot drop to 5 out of 5 strength. Now, I was hoping, fingers crossed for this person, that her weakness in her quads, because I've seen it in the quads too. Weakness in her quads, in her dorsiflexors, that was coming from SI, as an off chance type thing. And maybe that's why, nobody can really deduce what's happening here, because when I see these people with the foot drop, the couple cases that I saw before, I mean, they went everywhere. They were laughed at, given psych meds, So I was hoping it was that, and it was not that. Okay, so I opened it up and nothing. I had a patient yesterday, who came in and she had L5 weakness. I talked about this. L5 weakness, myotone weakness, L4, L3 to a lesser extent, but there. I opened up her SI joint, the L3 and L4 quad dorsiflexor went to 5 out of 5 strength. Okay, but the toe, not so much. So I told her I just wanted her to get an MRI of her back just to make sure what was going on here. But she definitely did have SI joint dysfunction and sacral torsion shear, like most of my chronic pain patients that have the failed everything story, because it generally doesn't show up on X-rays and MRIs. So you're kind of, it's our job as physical therapists, chiropractors, ATCs, OTs, whatever, is to screen for this so they don't end up in the, what happens to these people. And I published it. You can see all these people that tried all these things, and I put them on my SI protocol, sacral protocol, and boom, pain went away, So, okay, now my question is, with someone with neurological weakness like this patient had, okay, with someone with neurological weakness, can I stabilize their SI joints, right? So she had an up flares bilaterally, and her tailbone's twisted. I call it the trifecta. The question was, can I stabilize that? Okay, because now you have a confounding factor. You have a question mark there, like, can you actually strengthen the abductors enough to open up the out flare and the bring down the outslip respectively, with somebody with true neurological weakness coming from we don't know where, right? And the only thing I could do was try. So I told her, I said, well, let's do it, And so anyway, so she's under the care of the neurologist, still working her out. But I said, yeah, no, let's get rid of this back pain. And so anyways, I've got her on my SI protocol. And these people always surprise me, because somebody like that, I would think, would take forever to rehab, like one of these long haul SI rehab things. But no, in like 3 weeks, this lady's coming in like, yeah, I feel pretty good, and I'm like, so you never know with these people, I mean, that was, I generally don't have question marks as to whether these SI patients get better. Now, having said that, a handful of them, I do 140 of these a year type thing, handful of them will give me a run for my money, meaning they have this inherent groin weakness. I call it long haul SI rehab. And it's like they have to lift an entire mountain on their leg, their groin muscles, to get their strengthen their adductor group enough to open up their out flares in the pelvis. It's bonkers. Hardest thing I've ever had to do clinically. But I'm working on trying to figure out ways to do it, okay, to help these people. But in general, I don't feel worried about this. I published it in my paper in those 12 cases. Like, I mean, those patients failed this, failed that, failed this, failed that, boom, put them on my SI protocol, boom, they were better. I generally don't worry about it, But this patient, I did have a concern about it, because if you've got neurological weakness, I don't know that I can strengthen your glute med. I don't know if I can strengthen your adductor group enough, but she's doing great. In about 3 weeks, came in last night and said, I am doing great. So very, very interesting how that works, huh? That's that. But join my school group below, click below. Join my school group if you want clinical insights, mentorship, and cash-based clinic mentorship, okay? Join that group, okay? It's free, my VIP circle. One thing that I did want to say is, the more and more I talk to business owners that have these cash-based clinics, the more I hear, like, oh, I'm, at, I don't know, 10,000 a month or gross, not net, gross. 10,000 a month and, they're stuck there and, this, that, the other thing. And that is not something that in this business model that I have going on. And the reason why is because it's normal for my clinic to do 20,000 a week, So like like the ratios are off the charts. This is everybody says like 7-figure, but no, actually, one therapist 7-figure business model. If you want to add another therapist on, then you have uh, double that, So it's bonkers because we charge $400 for 30 minutes. Okay. But you have the clinical skills to back it up. This isn't like some hoodwinking thing where we have great sales techniques. No, I teach you the clinical skills to be confident enough to do that. And people always say, I hear it all the time, nobody wants to go outside of their insurance. Yes, they do. And the reason why is because there are conditions that no one knows what's wrong with these people. And when no one knows what's wrong with these people will go outside their insurance. That's what I do all day long in here. And they will pay you a premium if they trust you that you know what you're doing. And I teach people how I get my patients out of pain immediately. And the simple techniques, they trust me. I showed them what I did. Here's what was wrong. And here's what we need to do to fix it. So if you want to get out of these, cash-based clinics that are struggling to make 10 grand or 15 or 20 or something like that and do that in a week, 20 grand, then I will show you how I've helped other people do it. Okay. Anyways, I'm out. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Love you all. Peace.